Hey guys, today I have a video that's part of a new series that I'm doing called Videos to Watch While Eating or Driving. I think it's gonna be called something like that. That's the idea for it, is something to eat to. It's just a conversation with a friend of mine about finding yourself in high school, insecurities, uncertainty, expectations of how we thought it was gonna go, and most importantly, how to be cool. I tried out a little bit of my own interviewer skills, which kind of fell off track at a certain point. And I think by the very end of the video, I got a little bit cocky. I seemed to have a lot of advice to give because I've sure, been around the corner or two, if you know what I mean. But I just did, I got maybe a little cocky at the end, I don't know. With my long hair and my, Explore the Planet REI shirt, I just, got a little bit bothered by the way I was acting by the end of it. But everything that I was saying was honest and truthful, and, I was just trying to be helpful. So yeah. Please enjoy. Sit down, have a meal, or, if you're driving somewhere, then just put it on and listen in. Okay. Thank you. Okay. What's up, guys? How's it going? Alright. Mackenzie, please don't be mean. Alright, so I want to introduce you guys to my friend Mackenzie.
Hi.
Can we say hi? So Mackenzie and I just got coffee. Like a boss. And here's why I brought Mackenzie today on the show. First of all, I'm just going to give everyone a little bit of background information. This is my new podcast. It comes in video format. I'm actually deciding that right now. This is going to be like a podcast. Wow. So this is my and I'm going to do a bunch of different types of interviews. So this one is called Meeting Up with My Friend from High School or something like that.
Okay.
So Mackenzie's my friend from high school. So we both graduated high school recently, right? Mm-hmm. And within the past year, we're freshly graduated. Yeah. Mackenzie's in college at Santa Monica College right now. And so yeah, it's a pretty interesting angle, right? Honestly.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, definitely. It is, because basically it's kind of a bizarre, you don't really think, I feel I didn't expect so much to change. I mean, I expected there to be a lot of changes, but not kind of the way they were. Yeah. Mm-hmm. One thing I definitely want to touch on tonight is this okay, it's interesting because all of our friends are at college and we're still in our same old little town. I'm trying to be a YouTuber. Mackenzie's trying to be a doctor.
No, I'm not.
You're going to college.
Yeah.
So what are you trying to be?
I don't know. I'm trying to find myself in college.
Oh, really?
No, not really. I don't know.
Only doctors and lawyers went to college these days.
You have to go to college now, pretty much. No, you don't have to.
Well,
but
the more entrepreneurial types don't have to.
Yeah.
But.
And I'm not that confident enough to... I don't trust myself enough to not have a degree to fall back on, but I respect the other path as well.
Yeah. As do I.
We both respect each other's paths.
Of course. I mean, you're taking the safe and easy route, and
I mean, I wouldn't say it's necessarily safe.
Yeah, no.
Because there's a lot of money involved.
Mm-hmm.
So, what you could be doing is, more safe than what I'm doing.
Yeah, possibly. Okay, so, sorry if we're being a little funny right now. We're getting a little bit high on caffeine. So, I'm going to start by asking you, because I really have to take it up a notch right now. I'm the interviewer right now.
Oh, really?
I really have to, be the interviewer and play the part.
Oh my god, this is my, exciting.
First... Yeah, okay. So, what kind of childhood did you have?
I had a very interesting childhood. Okay. I would say it's very unconventional. My parents were both very loving, and I felt like I was nurtured as a kid, but...
And you grew up in LA?
Yeah, in Venice.
Mm-hmm. No,
but
nice.
then...
Locals only.
Yeah. When I was 8, my parents got divorced, and I went to like I went to an elementary school in like a really nice neighborhood in the Palisades where we went to high school. And I was the only kid pretty much with like divorced parents that I knew of, so I felt really like different from everyone else.
Right.
And I'm an only child, so I feel like that plays a factor in like my childhood.
Right.
Because everything was always surrounded on me, or like centered on me.
Right.
But I never felt like I was like, I'm someone that like pines for attention. But yeah, it just felt like different because I was also like not as wealthy as the other kids that were going to the school, so I felt a little out of place always. Even though I met some like great friends that I'm still friends with now, even though I was like that young, like it still always felt like something wasn't right.
So, okay, so let me ask you, why do you think, because you mentioned that you were very nurtured and you were like a golden child, so to speak, right? Like your parents were like, you're going to do great things.
In the eyes of my parents, yeah.
So then but then you're also saying that you haven't like felt super needy for attention, like you don't feel like, so what like happened there? Because I feel like usually, I know I was also the golden child, and then I have a major craving for attention. That's why I'm doing YouTube.
I have cravings for like, not like, I crave attention, but not the kind where it's like I want like lots of people to like me. I really want the people that I love in my life to like love me and like kind of validate that they like love me back. And like I just have a hard time of like letting go of people as well. Like I can't really fathom like someone leaving my life that I like love so much.
Right, okay.
Because that's like the hard part for me. But like I guess I do, like I crave that sort of attention, but I don't really, I hate when like the spotlight is on me in front of groups of people, but I like being like, I like getting attention when I'm with like a group of friends that I like, because that's just fun, because we're all just like joking around.
Yeah. That's interesting then, because I guess that's probably like the, I mean, I don't know, I feel like I've heard of other people who are similar to that, in the sense that like that influence their parents gave to them is like, you know, that kind of like golden child, whatever, like you're gonna do amazing, or giving them all the attention. It either makes them like seek that attention like from other people later on, or it does like what it did to you, which is more like you need your relationships to be super close, right? Like you can't have a relationship that's like just surface level, where you don't like really like connect with the person.
I feel like it was because when like my parents did initially get divorced, like I was always with like one parent for like a big majority of time. So like for a while it was like just me and my mom, and my dad wasn't always around, so I felt sad that he was gone. And then like it flipped, and now like my dad is kind of the more hands-on parent, and I live with him full time, and like I kind of miss that, like I kind of crave my mom. So I think it's just always having like only one big role model, or not role model, but like one big parent figure in my life at a time was like kind of confusing for me.
Yeah. So how did that translate into I'm just gonna skip middle school, because I just figure like middle school is just like everyone has a pretty similar, like it's pretty awful in your own unique way, but let's just skip it over to high school, because that's where we crossed paths. So in high school, you coming into 9th grade, you already had like a bit of a social group, right?
Yeah,
I had like middle school.
I had a good sized group of friends, and then I had like a smaller, close-knit group of friends that I was like considered my core. And that made me feel like comfortable, even though I was still like, even though I was really nervous.
Still going to high school, and it's big, and
I knew like pretty much the majority of people I was going to go to high school with, because everyone from like middle school, you didn't go to Revere, but like everyone from like our big middle school went to this high school. So I kind of was like, oh, I know what to expect from like kids in my own grade. I was just scared of the unknown of like the older kids. Right. Which I think everyone kind of, or
definitely.
most people.
For me, so we were kind of coming in with opposite things, because I came from a school with 30 kids. And I was like wondering like who my peers were going to be. But you had your like peers, and then you were like, but like the big high schoolers were like gonna be the thing. So I remember I first found out, you didn't follow me on Instagram, I don't think. I think I just found your Instagram somehow.
Really?
I don't know how.
I really don't know how we met, honestly.
I remember seeing your Instagram, though, and I remember seeing you around school, and I think I associated you mainly with Jordan, who was, like, popular.
Yeah. I think I associated you as, I don't necessarily know if we, like, talked, but, like, I remember, my friend Natalie was hooking up with Elijah.
Yeah.
And I knew you as, like,
probably
his
shouldn't use
friend.
names.
Oh, okay.
You can say,
bleep
like,
them
my
out.
friend, yeah,
You
we
can
can bleep it out, yeah. My friend fuck was hooking up with shit.
But yeah, and so that's how I kind of knew of you, and then when my other friend started dating one of your friends, then I think that's when we first kind of met in Topanga.
Yeah,
Remember we went to the time tunnel?
Yeah. Okay.
And I was really interested by you. Can I talk about how you were high?
Yeah.
So we were at the time tunnel. I think this is the first time we ever, like, hung out. So we went to the time tunnel with a bunch of kids, and I only went because my friend who was dating, were they dating at the time?
I think so, or they were, like, starting to, or, like, they were feeling it out.
We, like, ended up going because they were, like, whatever they were. And I had known a couple of your friends, so I was like, okay, yeah, I'll go. And I remember getting, like, a really good impression of you because you were very nice and, like, friendly, and I was kind of, like, intimidated.
Really?
Because of how, like, you seemed really confident and outgoing.
Wow.
And I'm not like that.
Wait, okay, I can't believe you think I seemed...
Well, then things kind of took a turn because you got high, and I think you got, like, a little too high because you started to have like a freak out, and I got kind of...
really?
Yeah, you were
this early on. I didn't know I revealed that. Let me just say for reference, yeah, I smoked weed in like for the first time in 9th grade, and I'd continued to use it through high school, and I just kind of and then I stopped because it just, like, really wasn't good for me, but it took me, like, 4 years to figure that out.
Yeah.
So I just want to say that for reference, and I don't do it anymore. I don't really think it's good for me. But anyways, go on. That's why I'm okay sharing it. Like,
you had a really bad reaction, and you kind of ran when we were walking out of the time tunnel. We were walking back to your house because I think that's where we, like, came from. You, like, ran ahead of everyone, and some people stayed back, but, like, our group, it was, like, us.
I'm finding it really bizarre. I don't really remember this.
And, like, you started, I think you started Snapchatting, or you put something on your story, and you were like, I feel like I'm dying, or, like...
Really?
Yeah, you said something really dramatic, like, I think, like, the world is ending, or, like, I'm not okay, like, I feel not okay, something like that. It was really bizarre, and I think I remember it was, like, a black screen, and then you, like, wrote on it with like, something.
Wow.
And, like, I tried to go up to you, and I didn't really know.
Camera shut off for a second. Technical difficulties. Go on. So we were saying that you were trying to talk to me out of my bad kind of high.
Yeah, and I didn't really know you that well, and so I didn't know how to approach you about it. And you were just like, no, like, you kind of, like, freaked out, and I was like, okay, I'm sorry, like, let me know if you need anything, like, and I don't remember how we left the night. And then I think we just kind of started being, like, involved with, like, similar people. We had, like, mutual friends, and that's how we started to, like, hang out more.
Right. Yeah, I think that is what sparked it. I think that's so funny that you... Okay.
Well, and then that was just 9th grade, and I think we were, like, I would call us, like, good acquaintances. I don't know if I would call us full-blown friends yet, but I think I forget if
I think I started to feel very comfortable with you as soon as we started talking. Like, I was pretty,
really?
like, nervous around you until we, like, started...
You were nervous around me?
Yeah.
Why?
I just, like, thought you were mean.
Are you kidding?
No.
You thought I was mean?
Yeah.
Why?
I thought you were, like, a jerk, sort of. I thought you hated me.
Why?
I always, like, assume that everyone hates me.
But, like,
before they know me.
I feel like I give off... I don't know. I feel like I give off such a, like,
You do.
timid vibe.
Yeah, okay,
no,
you
I feel
do,
like
but
I'm very
no, but
timid.
at the time, no, I think honestly a lot of it definitely had to do with the fact that, I mean, again, like, I didn't really know because I was coming from, like, such a small school, and, like, I didn't know who were the big fish and the little fish, and, like, I didn't know anything about anything, so all I saw was, like, I knew, like, Jordan was cool, and, like, you're friends with Jordan, and all I knew is you were integrated, and I wasn't, so, like, you know?
I guess.
So I was like, yeah, Mackenzie is, like, everyone, like, loves Mackenzie, she's, like, Mackenzie Anderson.
I never saw myself as that. I mean, because, like, when I... Like,
well, I think it's hard. I don't even know where the, like, literal fuzz you're getting, that, like...
That you were intimidating?
Yeah, or confident at all. Like, I remember everything about me screamed, like, insecure.
No, because you were able to, like, come up to me and, like, talk to me.
Really?
Yeah, and, like, I couldn't
weird.
do that with people. Like,
I don't believe that I did that, because I would like to say the same thing about me, that I couldn't do that with people.
But you were very, like, comfortable with me.
Sorry, guys, there's some people over here that are noticing what we're doing, but it's fine, we can just ignore them.
I don't think that they are.
Okay.
Maybe it's his girlfriend.
Yeah. They're just, like, hooking up in the
GameStop that's closed.
Okay, wait, so... Okay, well, it's just one of those things, I guess, because everyone always has, like, a completely different idea of who someone is before they get to know them.
I just think it's so
we had our guards
interesting
up.
you thought that, like, you weren't like that. Like, you literally would, like, come up to me and, like, my friend who was dating your friend, and, like, you were just comfortable. Because I think also, like, my friend is very outgoing. She's a really outgoing person.
Uh-huh.
And I think that you fed off of that and felt comfortable around her, and then, like, I was there. So you kind of, like, bounced that energy onto me, or, like, I got the similar, like, reactions from you.
I think you know what I think it was? It was that because my friend was dating your friend, it's always been, like, a super comfortable thing when, like, your friend starts dating someone, it's super easy to get comfortable with that girl, or, like, for me, it's usually a girl. So, because it's like, oh, all bets are off, they're not a potential candidate or anything like that. So I think because I was comfortable with her and you were her friend and I knew, like, she laughed at my jokes or something, I probably, like, was, like, started to feel more comfortable or something.
Yeah. Well, she's really good at making people feel comfortable. And so then if you were just, like, comfortable in general, it probably opened up more room for you to be, like, that way towards me. And, like, I was really happy about that, because I thought you were really cool.
Really?
Because I was like, I've never heard of you before, like, you went to a different school, so I was kind of like, oh, like, you were intriguing to me.
Yeah, see, for me, I was just like, I probably, like, these kids think I'm an idiot, like, for not going to Paul Revere and shit.
I think that's so funny that, like, you thought I was, like, very, like, mean and, like, I was, like, cool, I guess.
I thought you were super judgmental, honestly.
That's crazy to me.
Know.
I really can't believe that.
I don't know. It's just, like, that's just what it is. That's just what it is when you're entering, like, high school.
No, I get that. I'm like that about everyone.
Okay, so then let's fast forward a little bit. So, we kind of were just, like, on that kind of basis for a while, and then the friend group that I was in, we kind of, like, I just followed Elijah's lead in, like, going from group to group, and then eventually, after, like, our senior friends graduated and stuff, we weren't, like, left with you guys, but we moved on to you guys, and then we pretty much stayed. We were kind of, like...
Yeah, you guys would, like, eat lunch with us, and, like, just hang out. And, like, I think because I had a class with Elijah in 10th grade, so then I became friendly with him and our other friend that was in that class.
Right.
And then, like, it also, like, my other friends were becoming closer with, like, your friends as well. Like, Jordan was, like, making music with, like, Elijah and stuff, and, like, Liam. So okay, so what do you think about, like, now we're gonna really start getting into it. Okay.
Like, just, like, I mean, we already started, but, like, high school, like, how did you feel about yourself?
Not good.
Let me just ask this, like, more broad first. Like, what did you think of high school? Like, was it a good experience? Or, like, because, I mean, people always say high school was rough, right?
Yeah.
I remember when I went into high school, I was thinking, like, I really wanted to come out of high school saying like so badly I wanted this to be what I said, like, everyone says it's pretty rough, not that bad for me. Like, I wanted that to be my, like, little thing, like, it wasn't that bad for me.
Yeah.
But, like, coming out of it, I'm like, holy shit. That was like a whirlwind of emotions.
Yeah, that's the perfect way to describe it. Like, some of the things that, like, would make me so upset back, like, in, like, the early years of, like, sophomore, freshman year, like, I would laugh at now and think, like, that's ridiculous. Right. But, like, in the moment, they felt so, like, important to me.
Yeah.
So it's hard to, like, look back and just be like, high school is, like, kind of easy, but, like, it didn't feel easy going through it. And I know it just ended, so, and our lives are, like, pretty short. Like, that's, like, a big chunk of our life so far, so it does feel long right now. I know later it'll feel like nothing.
Right.
But, like, when I think about, like, all the different things that I did in high school, like, that was, like, a huge time of my life where I just, like, changed so many times. Like, I felt like I did, like, 180s, like, every couple of months.
Yeah.
Even though it probably wasn't that dramatic, but, like, I look back at, like, the person who I thought I was back then, and it's just, like, I'm amazed at, like, who that girl is to, like, who this girl is now.
Right. Yeah. Definitely. No, it's... You just learn so much, like, about yourself. Yeah. So that's the biggest thing.
Well, I still feel like I don't even, like, fully, like, know myself yet.
Oh, definitely,
And, like, I think that, like, maybe... I mean, I learned a lot from high school just through meeting, like, different people, going through different friendships, falling in love for the first time. Like, all those things make me who I am now. But, like, I don't know. It's just, like, it's so weird to think about.
I know. But, I mean, you're just building up your identity, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the reason those things are so important. You know, like, those, like, things that people say about you that you hear and you're just, like, crushed. Because you're just, like, that defines me. Like, that bad thing that I heard about, like, the way that my, like, chin divots and someone, like, said something about it. Like, that's everything.
Yeah.
You know?
Everything feels more, like, amplified in high school because
it's, like...
You go.
No, sorry, I'm not supposed to cut you off like that. I was supposed to be a good interviewer. No,
I don't even remember now.
I'm treating us too much like...
because it's like, you're not really, like, exposed to, like... I mean, some people are more than others, but, like, I felt like I was never really exposed to, like, real-world things yet because all I knew was, like, school and, like, just growing up with, like, knowing certain kids since I was, like, 5. And, like, oh my god, sounds... Do you?
I don't. Oh, well, you have a quarter right here.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else?
I have more. Here, you can just give him, like, a lot.
Okay. Here you go.
I gotta say something.
Yeah.
Both of you are sweethearts and have a great holiday and New Year. And I also gotta say something. Alright, stay in school. Do not join drug gangs because drug gangs, yes, they don't care about you.
Yeah.
This guy was like, Steve, we're gonna go up to Humboldt and you're gonna join the Hells Angels. And I was like, no, I'm not.
Alright, I know the camera stopped recording at some point.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure, if they know that when we left off, the homeless guy asked for some change, and so basically some homeless guy came up to the window, he asked for some change, and then he, like, went on talking about, like, Kurt Cobain.
How he knows
for a long
Kurt
ass
Cobain.
time. Yeah,
told us to not get into drug cartels.
Yeah.
To stay in school.
And he knows a lot about engines.
And he knows a lot about how bad caffeine is for you.
He was starting a juice bar. He said he was going to name it Atticus and Mackenzie.
He was like, that's such a good name for a business.
Yeah,
like,
Atticus and Mackenzie.
Alright.
Alright.
Now we have to start it.
Sorry, I don't know where we left off. I really But, okay, I have an idea of it. Okay, we were talking about... Okay. So, something about during high school, you're building your identity.
Yeah.
Things feel so much more important. Like, the things that don't really matter that much feel like a big deal. All, like, pretty normal stuff. Like, most people know this kind of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty basic.
Yeah, like, not anything too advanced about what we're talking about, unless it is, like, advanced, and unless someone's getting something out of it, then it's actually pretty smart stuff that I'm saying. But, okay, let's switch the conversation, because we did have this break. Let's take it more of a direction of, like, what would, you, like, do you have any advice, maybe, to, like, give to, like, some of, like, maybe some of the kids that are still in high school that are watching, about, like... I know I have some advice. I have something like...
Then you start.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, you want me to?
Well, advice about what? You just said any advice?
About, like, high school and, like, what you went through and, like, you know what I mean? Like, how to deal with, like, maybe your emotions or like, how to see the social aspect or how to... Like,
I feel like I'm the
I don't
wrong
know.
person. I was, like...
Really?
Well, I was very socially, like, timid.
Yeah, but you still, like, got along with people. And you had, like, a good, like... I feel like you had a good identity throughout high school, at least more than me. I don't know.
Really?
Or maybe it was just from the outside. It might have just been the same thing where it's, like, everything from the outside. Because you always seemed very, like... You didn't always feel super confident in yourself, but you were always, like... It appeared from the outside that you were still, like, able to be, like... Or maybe you were just, like, not really, like, it wasn't all throughout, but you were just a step ahead of me the whole time. Maybe that's what it was like.
Oh, really?
Yeah, maybe.
You felt that?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, because I remember, you said something like... You would say stuff like... This is more like senior year, but I remember you would say stuff like... Yeah, I mean, like, you know, like, you never really know. Life will take you in many different directions. Like, you might not know what you'll end up doing in 5 years from now, something like that. You said something like that, and I was just like, no, I know what I'm gonna do. Like, I'm gonna, like, whatever, like, film stuff or something. But you were like, I mean, maybe you'll, like, be a journalist or, like, whatever. You might do something completely different. It's like, Mackenzie, no, like... I don't know, just, I feel like you were a little bit more, like, and then we would always have those conversations, like after school, and talk about how, like, insecure we were.
We both were, yeah.
Remember? Yeah, Mackenzie and I had a lot of conversations.
That's kind of why we bonded and became close.
Yeah.
Because of our self-hatred.
I know, we would, like, just, like, both have time after school, and we would just have these, like, conversations that just... I remember the way I felt at the end of the conversations, because we just go over everything.
Yeah.
And analyze the shit out of it, and I would just feel so drained by the end of them. I loved them. Seriously, and it's like, I wanted to just continue having them.
Yeah.
But they are so draining, because they're just like, yep, I guess that's everything, and that's still life. Or something, you know?
I never thought they were that draining.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just... I don't know.
I don't know.
Any advice?
Advice?
The problem with this interview now is just that, like, or more like this podcast now is just, like, I feel like it's, that guy fucking ruined it, because now we're completely off topic. But
we just have to get back into it.
Yeah. I also keep interrupting you. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
I'm a bad interviewer. I'm a terrible interviewer.
No, it's fine.
I'm just fucking bad at this.
Let me get my hydro. Sorry.
Am I bad at this?
No, you're not.
Really?
Yeah, you're not.
I'm actually pretty good.
You're doing a good job, I think. You're asking me, like, good questions.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. But yeah, let's just...
Advice to give?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Let's add some value to what we're doing here.
Well, I feel like I barely made it through, because I also had a very different life circumstances than you did throughout high school.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I'm not belittling your experiences. I just felt like a lot of, like, what I went through was, like, really heavy stuff that kind of made me mature quicker. Or not quicker. That's like a bad way to put it. I feel like I just kind of had to look at life very differently because of all of these like weird grown-up things that I had to go through when I was like 16.
I feel like that's what I'm referring to when I say the thing about like you being more mature, kind of, or like just having your outlook just appeared to be a little more like, I don't know, like realistic. I feel like has a bad like connotation with it, but like I don't really just mean realistic, just a little more like complete or something. Oh. You know what I mean?
Well, I feel like I kind of had to be that way to be able to cope with like the things that I like was going through, which, cause like, I don't know, I had to look at like what I was going through as like very temporary, and that like life is more about like the bigger picture than like the now. Right. And you can't also foresee like what's going to happen. And that was my way of kind of being like, oh, everything is going to get better because, like, I never know what's going to happen. Like, things couldn't get better, but, like, I'd like to think that, like, they would play out and everything will, like, be what it was supposed to be.
Because, yeah, I think that's the biggest thing is for me, I somehow adopted this mentality and I still, like, wrestle with it, but it's, like, it's, like, just kind of the all or nothing mentality of, like,
yeah, like, I can't look at things like that. It drives me crazy.
Yeah, just for, like, back then, it was, my whole thing was just, like, I had to pick the career that I was gonna do, like, in, like, junior year. Like, I had to have it, and, like, I couldn't let it change. Like, it wouldn't matter. For me, that's just how I was thinking about it. It was, like, even if I wanted to change it, no, I have to do it now, and, like, I don't know. And I just feel like you were a lot more, like, open to, like, the range of possibilities, and I was like, okay, if I think this thing is good now, then I better think it's good for me. Like, I didn't want my, like, beliefs to change or my opinions. Like, I was like, well, if I'm gonna have an opinion now, it needs to be something that's gonna last. And I feel like you were a little more like, yeah, I mean, maybe I'll have a change in perspective later on. And I was like, no, I can't have a change. Like, you know, I want to have my perspective now. I don't know.
Well, I also, I had no idea, like, what I wanted to do. I, like, would go through phases of like being really into certain things, but they were never really something that I could see myself having as like a career. And so for me, I always was like, okay, I'm gonna go to school, and then like once I get there, like hopefully I'll figure things out. So I think that's kind of why I looked at things more broadly, because I was just like, oh, I genuinely don't have a clue on like what I want to do, but I know that I'm gonna go to school, and that's like the middle step, so I don't need to think about the end step or like the like big career step yet, because that's like later, like that's after school or like during school for college, and like I wasn't there yet. And so I figured like, oh, since I'm not there yet, like I don't need to think about it. I can just like put it off. Right. Which sounds like procrastinating my life.
No, but I feel like it's like healthy.
It was the only way to like healthily to look at things in like a way that would kind of keep me sane and not have freakouts about like my future.
Right. Yeah, and that's always been like my thing, is just that like it's just I always am freaking out about the future.
Well, yeah, I mean, I do too. I hate uncertainty because like I have lots of anxiety, and like I can't deal with like not knowing what's going on. Right. Like I always need to kind of not be in control, but I need to like be aware of like my situation so that I can feel comfortable. And like I guess the way for me to look at like the broader scheme of my life was like, oh, if I just think about things that aren't that far away, then everything will be okay. Because if I think about the things that are far away, then I'll drive myself crazy wondering like what is gonna happen to me, like where will I be, like I assumed that I was gonna like go to a 4-year college and like everything was gonna be easy, and then like senior year I was like, oh shit, like I can't leave LA yet, like I can't leave home, I'm not ready, like I'm not mentally ready for that. And so I ended up at like SMC, which like I didn't think I was going to do, but it worked out for the best. So that's like my how would I call it? That was like my perspective working out for the better. Like, I'm happy at SMC. I don't think I would be happy at a 4-year college right now. But, like, I'm gonna get there eventually. But, like, I don't know. Everything worked out for the best. Like, that guy always thought it would, kind of.
Right. That you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's the way usually anyone tends to, I mean, there's always exceptions, but that's the way that, at least through my experience, I've always looked at it too, is just like, whatever I've been going through in, like, a certain moment that feels like the end, like, the world is crumbling down on top of you, like, if you look before that, it's like you've had that same feeling and, like, everything's worked out. I mean, and it's not always what you envisioned it to be. Like, I thought I would have, like, 6-pack abs at this point and be, like, ripped. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
I was when I'm 8, my 13-year-old self who was, like, chubby was, like, but also struggling to diet, like, every day was, like, no. When I'm, like, first of all, I thought in high school I was gonna be, like, so sexy and hot and, like, go to all the pool parties and take my shirt off.
Well,
that was always my big vision. And then, but I didn't even question, like, oh, when I'm 18, I will be having abs. Like, that's, you know, when I was 13, that was, like, 5 years away.
Yeah.
So that was, like, yeah, I have enough time to get fucking ripped, shredded, and look hot, and I'm gonna, like, everything is gonna be perfect. And, I mean, it just feels like I just have, like, grown, even more than that, but I don't have the abs or whatever, but, like, you know, I mean, I actually, like, could lose a little right now, but, yeah, you don't get what you, like, were expecting to get, but you get something, like, more insightful, I feel like,
well,
a lot of the time.
I thought high school, I had, like, a somewhat similar assumption that I thought that I was gonna have, like, multiple boyfriends throughout high school.
Me too, or girlfriends.
I thought that I was going to be going to,
I didn't think I would, like, sorry, it's a different thing. No, you go ahead.
I just never, like, I thought I was gonna be going to, like, all these parties, and that, like, there was gonna be more, like, popular crews, and, like, it was gonna be cliquey, and, like, as the years went on, like, I guess freshman year everything felt a little cliquey, but that's just because it was, like, fresh out of middle school.
Right.
But by, like, sophomore, junior year, like, it really wasn't like that. It was just, like, different friend groups, and, like, no one was, like, better. Like, people thought that they were better than others, but it, like, not everyone felt that way.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I don't know. I ended up not having tons of boyfriends and, like, all that stuff, but it all worked out for the best. Like, I'm happy.
Right.
I'm happy with, like, the end result of
And you learned the most about yourself.
Yeah.
Because, like, that Mackenzie who had all the boys, that's not Mackenzie. Like.
Yeah, exactly. That's really not me.
Right. But, yeah, I mean, it's just, like, you learn so much and you grow so much.
Mm-hmm.
I had some little advice that I wanted to give for this video.
Yeah.
I feel like it's the number one thing that I learned throughout high school. Was that high school kids are sheep, okay, in the sense that, like, it's true.
Yeah.
The secret to, like, being cool in high school is to, like, say you're cool. Because if you say, hey guys, what's up? I'm cool. Everyone goes, oh shit, he's cool.
That's kind of true, yeah.
That's very true. Like,
you don't even have to
all
say
the people,
you're cool.
I know,
just,
you don't have to say you're cool, but just, like, whatever it is about you, like, I was so embarrassed of so many things. I was embarrassed of my family. I was embarrassed of where I was from. I was embarrassed of Topanga. Yeah, I was embarrassed of, like,
I get that.
The clothing my dad would wear. I was embarrassed of all the clothing that I would wear. It always felt like the wrong choice. And as soon as I just started embracing, like, every single, like, part of myself was the point where I found myself, like, becoming my own thing, where I was like I can be, like, cool, or whatever, my standard of cool. Yeah, it was like, literally, it was like I went through my dad's wardrobe. I used to think my dad dressed like an idiot. I was so embarrassed. I was so, like, oh my god, my family's so dumb and Topangan and, like, just, like, dorky, and there's nothing cool about it. And then I, like, just started one day, I didn't even necessarily think it was cool yet, but I was like, I'm just gonna embrace the fuck out of it. Like, I'm gonna completely embrace it. And I started, like, dressing like my dad and my mom. I started embracing, like, the colors in our house, like, everything. I just, like, was like, I'm just gonna embrace it all, and Topanga and everything. And that was, like, when I started to be like, okay, like, there's something here, like, that I can actually work with. And the only thing you can ever do is, like, embrace the parts of you that already exist. You can't, like, really come up with the new things, you know? And then even embracing that awkward side at parties, that side that, like, you know, like we were talking about it earlier, you know, like the side that was like you're standing weird.
Yeah.
Like to tell people or to ask people like, hey, am I like standing weird right now? Like even if it's a little joke, even if you're joking, or it just calling out that inner monologue can really help you like break through, and it's not as big of a deal as it feels in your head.
Yeah. I mean, I wish I could do that. I don't feel like I could just tell someone like, hey, sorry, I'm standing weird.
Just as a joke?
No.
Why not? It's funny.
Because I overthink everything.
Or just
so
to
I'd
show
be like, oh my god, they think I'm so weird that I said that.
Right, but that's the funny thing. And then you can say, like, then you should say, like, sorry, you probably think I'm, like, really fucking weird for saying that.
Yeah, but then sometimes that makes it, like, really awkward.
I know. And then you said, this is really awkward now.
I can't. I try to avoid awkward situations at all costs.
See, I used to feel like, and here's another, like, kind of advice thing. I used to think that, like, sorry I'm stealing this interview from you, but...
No.
But I just want to share this. Like, I used to, when I would go up to people, when I wouldn't go up to people and I wouldn't introduce myself, because, you know, when you, like, or if you already knew someone, but you guys weren't, like, super close, like, you knew their name, like, I was just like, oh god, this is so weird. I don't know if I'm supposed to, like, introduce myself, and now it's been a little while, so I'm pretty sure I just am not supposed to talk to them. But then, like, then you realize, like, there's this little thing you can do where you can literally go up to them and be like, hey, I'm sorry, I know we, like, kind of know each other, but, like, not really. That's not that weird.
I couldn't do that either.
Why?
I'm
just, if you, like, know of someone, to go up to them and be like, I'm sorry, but, like, we sort of know...
No, but sometimes I've been in those situations, and the people reintroduce themselves to me, and then I feel like an idiot, because I kind of approach them like, hi, and they're like, oh, hi, I'm so-and-so, and I'm like, yeah, I know we've met before, but...
Do you say that? Do you say we've met?
No. Because I don't want to be like, oh, you're so rude, like, you don't remember me. Like, I know I wouldn't say that, but, like, I don't want it to come across that way.
Yeah.
And it probably wouldn't, and I'm just crazy and overthink things, but, like, I couldn't.
I guess that's just, I mean, yeah, so my advice to you.
Yeah, I need this advice.
No, I don't want to, like, but it's just, like, that was the whole thing with, like, embracing yourself, where it was just, like, embrace that, like, really awkward inner monologue of yours. Maybe it's funny, like, maybe it's a funny thing that you do, or maybe, like, whatever. It can be whatever you want to make it, but, like, embracing it is, like, the way to, like...
I feel like I embrace, like, those qualities about myself, but only around, like, my friends, or, like, people I'm comfortable with, which is fine with me, because, like, I don't know. I don't necessarily feel the need to do that around new people or like people I don't know that well.
Right. I mean, as long as you like forgive yourself for it and you can at least laugh at it with yourself. Well, that's the important thing, you know? Like, you don't have to necessarily call it out when you're like talking to people in public. It's just that's what I like to do. I think it's funny, but you know, one thing you can just, as long as that relationship with like Mackenzie with yourself is like can laugh at it, you know, and be like, you know, that doesn't, like, define me. I'm not, like, a terrible person because I'm a little awkward sometimes. Then I feel like you're good.
Yeah.
But, it's just, like, that relationship with yourself. But, yeah, you just, I don't know, you don't really have that relationship with yourself early on in high school.
No,
you just don't understand any of that yet.
I still am, like, learning.
Yeah, no, totally. I mean, I'm acting like I'm this, like, guru right now. But I mean, I'm just trying to like share what I can.
Yeah. But
just in case like anyone out there could use a little piece of advice. Well, no, I mean, I'm pretty qualified. I've been going to therapy for like 2 years straight with the same therapist now.
I don't know how long it's been. It's been like 6 months.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's good.
I think so.
That's probably another good piece of advice. Like, get a therapist early on.
I mean, you don't have to, but, like, get a therapist if you feel like you need to talk to someone, like a neutral person.
I mean, I feel like everyone can, like, get something out of having a therapist.
Yeah, but some people are uncomfortable. Like, I was uncomfortable. Like, I love the idea of therapy, and, like, I've always been, like, a big advocate for it, but, like, even, like, knowing that I like support it. Going in for the first time is like terrifying for me.
Yeah.
Because it's like you have to be so, or you don't have to, but like to get
so
the
honest.
most out of it, you have to be very vulnerable with this like complete stranger. And so it's like a little awkward like the first maybe 2 times.
I feel like at this point, because I was gonna say, like, at this point, having gone to the same therapist for like 2 years, it's literally like it's actually insane. I'm taking time to reflect on it right now, but like his role in my life, like he's like a parent or a it almost feels like some kind of relative, but not really. It feels like, oh, that's my therapist, but like very much like that's my therapist. I don't know if that makes sense, but just like he's taken on such a role. Like,
no, I get that. I love my therapist. I kind of think of her as like, I don't even know. Like, I don't want to say sister because I feel like that's too close. Because I don't know enough about her.
Right.
But like, I feel like she's just like this, this like cool, like, you know, like those, I don't know if you have any of those, but like those friends of your parents that you call like aunt or uncle, but you like are really close with them and you can like joke around with them.
Yeah.
Like that's how I see like my therapist.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And she's like she's like pretty young too, so it's like
that's cool.
Not that scary. Cause like I know she can relate to things that I talk about because she's like not like super old or whatever. Which there's nothing wrong with like that, but I prefer someone that can like relate to me a little more.
Right. Yeah, I mean, especially like social media stuff, just getting it, the whole world. Yeah, if they're old, they don't get it.
Not necessarily.
Social media makes high school probably harder.
Oh yeah, it does.
I don't know. Definitely another like really great piece of advice. Make sure your social media profile represents exactly who you are.
Really?
No. That's like just like the impossible challenge that you'll never like achieve.
Oh, I hate
for
my
your
social
profile.
Media.
Yeah, well everyone does because it's like sort of me, but like like you know, you want your profile to be like, this is me. This is exactly who I am.
Oh, I don't see it that way.
No, but I mean, no one does. Everyone's like, oh god, this isn't like, I can't believe like people look at this photo and they think of me or like whatever, like, or everyone's like, my profile doesn't like represent the way I want it to. Like, I'm gonna make another account where like I start really being myself, or like, you know what I mean? You just want to like redo your, I don't know. Yeah, social media. I think the best thing would just be to like give up on like that. Like achievement early on, like this idea that your account is gonna represent you and your feed's gonna be perfect. Like,
yeah, who cares?
Yeah,
social media sucks.
So am I just gonna call this like, it's like high school advice, right? High school stories, high school advice.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know. I just hope like.
You're not gonna clickbait it?
I don't know. But like, I mean, I feel
like essential advice for high school.
Yeah.
For surviving high school.
How to be a winner in high school.
How to win high school.
Yeah. Advice from LA teens. That should be the title. People think that's cool, right? Being like an LA kind of teen.
We're not, though. Or you are. I'm
really?
not.
I am?
I don't consider, like, I don't, do you think I seem LA? No.
You really think I'm LA?
I hate that. I hate that.
I'm pretty LA. Alright,
Yeah,
my battery's dying. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. I really hope you got something out of this.
Yeah.
This was definitely the kind of thing where you just, like, sit down, have a meal, and, like, you know, just and, like, kind of hang out with the conversation, I think. So, like, yeah, a lot of, relating going on, hopefully, with the audience. Hopefully they, think I'm pretty cool now that I've opened up a little bit. They love me. Joking around. Okay.
It's that confidence.
Alright, guys. Thanks for watching. I post every single Sunday right after church. And have a good time. You're supposed to bang your head on something. Nice. Okay. Yeah.
Ew, I hate. No, you have to cut that out.
Very punk rock. Rock on.
It's just like the LA way.
Oh, was that a stick and poke tattoo? Whoa.
On my hand?
Very hardcore. Very, very punk.
Yeah, I tried to.